Supervisor, welcome to The Story Is.
Thank you. It's good to be on. Good day yesterday, I can tell you that.
Well, and so what exactly came out of that meeting? Are there any tangible action items that came out?
Well, first of all, the mayor and I wanted to thank President Trump for what he did early on. He came out shortly after he was inaugurated and really accelerated the cleanup process. And really, we're a year ahead of what it would have been had he not front-loaded a lot of the resources to get the lots cleaned and EPA to go in and get rid of the hazardous waste and materials. So it was to thank him for that, but also to let him know that the cleanup is done, the rebuild begins. We need the federal government to be a partner along with the state and of course local as well. We have skin in the game as well.
So there's been this big debate about, federal money. Is L.A. going to get federal money? Did President Trump agree that he would side with Congress, pressure them to pass this and send more federal disaster dollars to California?
Good question. It's something I've learned because when I met with the president yesterday, I've also been up on the Hill. And there are other disasters throughout this country that have occurred, North Carolina, Florida, Texas. It's important for us to recognize that they're also standing in line waiting for assistance. So my goal, and I made this clear to everyone up on the Hill that I met with, is to not leave other states behind. It's important for us to speak with one voice. We're all asking for FEMA reimbursement, which is something that is in the books. Identifying the money is going to be the trick. There's no question about it. And so we've got some heavy lifting to do, but the president was crystal clear that he supports our efforts, recognizing that we have addressed some of the barriers such as permitting. Permitting was an impediment prior to the fires, and now we've gotten it down to like 30 days in our county's hands, which is unbelievable. So we've accelerated that. The building process is occurring. Insurance continues to be a problem. The president tweeted about State Farm Insurance, and they finally acknowledged that they need to do better and respond to the needs of survivors. So, he plays a vital role on so many levels, and we are very grateful that he was able to meet with us and really discuss the concerns that we have to support our survivors.
Yeah, and you, of course, are the only Republican on the L.A. County Board of Supervisors. Take us inside the meeting. Because so many people would like to be a fly on the wall. You were there. What's it like being in the Oval Office with President Trump? What's the dynamic like between President Trump and the liberal mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass? Take us there.
Well, I've said this and I mean it. I wish every American could meet our president one-on-one and they would understand the love he has for this country and the commitment he has to addressing issues across the board. And I saw it firsthand yesterday. He could not have been more gracious, asked good questions, hard questions, but between Mayor Bass and I, we were able to answer and really give him the answers that I felt he needed to hear, but he could not have been more gracious. Politics went out the door.
What was the dynamic of him and Bass like?
It was the same as with me. It was not Republican, Democrat. It was about representatives there to talk about a disaster that occurred. He came out, he saw it firsthand. His concern was, are you going to help the survivors rebuild? And the answer is yes, and we now have a story to tell as it relates to the number of permits that have gone out, but also what our ask is in terms of infrastructure. We've got to rebuild our water infrastructure, roads, across the board, bearing the utilities. He asked about that. He wanted to know what's being done to address that for future fires. So, very well versed in what's going on, and we were able to give him answers.
There was pictures of you guys leaving, and it looked like, did you leave with merch? Did he give you souvenirs on the way out?
He gave me a signed Bible, and he gave me hats, and I will cherish them. So I don't know if you call it swag. I've been to the West Wing. I've been to the old executive office building under other presidents, and they have swag that they give away. They give away M&Ms. I didn't get any of those, but overall, he could not have been more gracious. And so, yeah, I saw that. I see one of Mayor Bass's opponents was not happy, but you know what? So goes it.
That's Spencer Pratt you're talking about. So what did Mayor Bass? Did she get anything?
I did not. Well, that was me carrying it. So when he was tweeting, I was thinking, you know, he got my backside. So I'm glad he didn't make any nasty comments. But you know, I believe that he gave, I think, a Bible for sure. And he signed each one. And you know, listen, that man is leaning in hard, and I saw it front and center. And then Susie Wiles. I mean, it was an honor for me to meet someone that is the first woman chief of staff to a president, being on an all-women board. She's an amazing, amazing, amazing person as well.
Kathryn Barger, LA County Supervisor, thank you so much for sharing your perspective here on The Story. It's always a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you.